Pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read. Travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Read. Pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read. Travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Okay, this time you have to say read. Here we go. Read. Pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read. Travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Read, 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 everyone read.
Spring! The flowers are blooming and the weather is beautiful outside. It's our favorite time of day, story time! The title of our story today is Talk, Oscar, Please. The author is Karen Kaufman Orloff and it's illustrated by Tim Bowers. Looking at the cover, what do you think the story is going to be about? That's a very good guess. It could be about a boy getting a new dog. Any other guesses? Yes, that's a very good guess. It could also be about a boy playing with his dog. Now tell me something. What makes the author so important? Why is the author needed? Yes, the author's job is to write the words in the story. And when we have words in the story, it tells us what the story is going to be about. Now, what about the illustrator, Tim Bowers? Why is he important? Yes, he's important because he draws the beautiful pictures in the story. So even if you can't read the words, the pictures tell the story also. Let's begin. When we open up, this side of the book is a dedication page. Sometimes the author likes to dedicate his or her stories to important people in their lives. For example, this story is dedicated to Debbie. The author says that Debbie has been in her corner since she was 10 years old. This side of the page is the title page. It gives another view of what the story could be about. On the title page, it looks like the dog is being pretty silly. He has on a hat and some reading glasses and a tie. It also tells us once again the author, Karen Kaufman Orloff, and the illustrator, Tim Bowers. Oscar, you yip, and Oscar, you howl. Oscar, you bark, and Oscar, you growl. Oscar, you whimper, and Oscar, you wheeze. Oh boy, I wish you could talk. Oscar, please? I heard some very interesting words on these 2 pages. I heard words that rhyme. Can any of you tell me, what are some of the words on these 2 pages that rhyme? Very good. 2 words that rhyme on page 1, howl and growl. Another set of rhyming words, wheeze and please. How do we know that they're rhyming words? Because they have the same ending sound. Yes, very good. Now let's look at this part right here. Oscar, please? Am I telling Oscar to do something, or am I asking Oscar to do something? I'm asking him to do something, but how do you know? That's right, the question mark. The punctuation mark, which is a question mark, tells us that I'm asking Oscar to do something. I'm asking him to talk. Please. A dog that could talk would be totally cool. I bet I could bring you along to my school. You start out real simple with your ABCs. But first, you should learn how to talk. Oscar, please. If you could talk, Oscar, you'd coach our new team. When I kick the ball, you'll cheer and I'll scream. You'll help keep to score with lots of whoopies. It sure would be great if you could talk. Oscar, please. Oh, hikes, you could lead us straight up a steep trail and identify bugs as you point with your tail. You'll love the woods, Oscar. So many big trees. So open your mouth and just talk, please. Won't it be great if Mom takes us to lunch? You'll ask for some water and I'll get fruit punch. They'll serve you your favorites, bacon with cheese. And we might get dessert if you talk. Oscar, please. If only you'd talk when we went out to play. Instead of just running, you'd have things to say. You'll crack a few jokes, but I know you won't tease. Not like my big brother. So talk, Oscar, please. He's having lots of fun with Oscar outside, and it looks like a beautiful spring day. The trees have leaves and the grass is green, and it looks like the sun is out. All of the sky is nice and blue. Maybe you'd like to be on a quiz show. They'll ask you some questions to see what you know. You shout out the answers from A through the Z's. You'll love being famous. So talk, Oscar, please. Next time you feel sick and we'll go to the vet, she'll say you're the cleverest dog that she's met, because you'll explain that your problem is fleas. It'll be awfully proud if you talk. Oscar, please. Let's take a minute to look at two words on this page. It says that the next time Oscar feels sick, he's going to go to the vet. What is the vet, or who is the vet? Very good. We talked about vets in a different unit that we learned about. The vet is the doctor who takes care of animals. So just like us, when we get sick and we go to the doctor, dogs go to the doctor as well. She's called a veterinarian. She takes care of animals when animals are sick. Now, these words say that the vet is going to think that Oscar is the most clever dog she's ever met. What does that word mean, clever? It's another word for being really, really smart, just like you guys. So Oscar is the most clever dog. And when I'm at Grandma's and you're all alone, how fun would it be if we talk on the phone? We'll laugh and tell stories. We'll just shoot the breeze. will go on for hours. Just talk, Oscar, please. When it's time for bed, it would be a surprise if you'd come and sing me some dog lullabies about collies and poodles, Great Danes, Pekingese. You'd lull me to sleep if you'd sing, Oscar, please. That's very silly. Oscar's singing him some lullabies. Tell me about a time when someone sang lullabies to you. Maybe your mom or your dad or your grandma. Sometimes they read stories or they might sing lullabies to help you get to sleep. Lullabies are beautiful, soft songs to help calm you down. But Oscar, sometimes when we're in my room playing, I feel like I already know what you're saying. Some people may laugh and think it's pretend. But I know it's true because you're my best friend. So look, Oscar is all dressed up in the glasses and the tie, just like on the title page. And this is his best friend who just wanted him to talk. But he knows what he's saying all along because they're friends. The end. I hope you enjoyed reading the story with Miss Lori. Ask your moms and dads and grandmas, any adult who's home with you or a big brother or sister to read a story to you. Have a nice day, guys.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm excited that we are taking a field trip to the fire department today. We're going to spend some time visiting with my daughter, Elizabeth, who's a volunteer at the fire department. She wants to be a firefighter when she finishes high school. So here's Elizabeth.
Hi guys, so first we're going to start off by looking at some of our gear that we wear when we go into fires. So we have our boots and our pants that we wear, and then our gloves. And then this goes over our face to protect our head and neck. And then we have our helmet and our jacket. We also wear an air pack that keeps us. Now I'm going to show you the inside of our ladder truck. So we have all of our radios. So when we get a call, it comes out over there. And then the gears to do everything on there, as well as a backup camera and like our lights and just kind of normal stuff. On the other side of the seat, on both of those seats, and then our back seats, there are our air tanks that when we go into a fire we wear. So as we're going into the fire and like going to the fire, that's what we put on, as well as flashlights and some extra equipment that we need. So this is our station that we run like all of our discharges and hoses on. And as you can see, it says each one, so don't get confused on any of them and what we do. And on the back of all of our trucks, we have hoses that we use to bring into the fire. And as you can see, we have different sizes of different hoses depending on what type of fire you're fighting. And then our last truck is our rescue truck. It goes to all of our medical calls that we have. So this carries all of our medical equipment that we need for each medical call.
Stay safe, boys and girls.
Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our field trip to the fire department. I miss you. We'll see each other again soon. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Kelly Stomps, a music teacher in St. Tammany Parish. And right now, I know it's so hard for all of us to be physically distant from our friends and many of our family members. So I decided today to create a lesson based on ways that we could still connect, that ways that we could still be with our friends and still share, even though we might not be face to face right now. So I made up a little rhyme called Share Your Heart, and it goes, I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. I'm going to say it again. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Can you say that with me? Here we go. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Now we're going to add some body percussion moves to this to a steady beat. So our moves are going to go pat, pat, clap, snap. And before I go on, I know that there are many students that have difficulty with snapping, and that's okay. If you can't make the snapping sound, you can still try the move, or you can create your own move, your own sound for that instead. So we're going to go pat, pat, clap, snap, pat, pat, and say the words. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Great. We're going to turn that rhyme into an A section, and we're going to now be creating a B section to perform with this. So we're going to be overall doing an A-B form for our Share Your Heart song. Now for the B section, I first started off with making columns with different rhythms. So this is a quarter note with a quarter rest. A quarter note is one beat of sound. A quarter rest is one beat of silence. And with my students, I teach them to perform this rhythm going ta. Can you try that? Ready, go. Ta. In the next column, I have two quarter notes. Ta, ta. Try that with me. Ta, ta. In the next column, I have two eighth notes and a quarter note. I say this ti, ti, ta. Can you try that with me? Ready, go. Ti, ti, ta. And if you're not sure what eighth notes are, there are two sounds that happen on one beat. So you noticed it might have gone a little bit faster because there are two sounds for one beat. Our next rhythm we have is ta, ti, ti. One quarter note, two eighth notes. Try it with me. Ta, ti, ti. And in the last column, we have four eighth notes. So that goes T, 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 T. Here you go, T, 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 T. So after drawing the columns, I went through and thought of words of ways that we can share and still connect even though we are physically distant right now. So under ta, rest, I had to think about words that only had one syllable. So the words I came up with are Skype. Can you try that? Skype. Then we have Zoom. Try that. Zoom. Here I have cards. Can you try that? Cards. And then I have text. Can you try that? Text. So under two quarter notes, I had to think about words that have two syllables. So I have FaceTime. Try that. Now I have Facebook. Facebook. Can you try that? Facebook. Then we have phone calls. Try that. Phone call. I have posters. I've seen a lot of pictures of people sharing posters, putting them in windows. Can we try that? Posters. Next, I have book clubs. Can you try that? Book clubs. I have several friends that have started book clubs, and they're sharing their books they're reading about and having discussions using Zoom. I think it's pretty cool. And then we have photos. Can you try that? Photos. Under ta, three syllable words, I have sidewalk chalk. I've seen a lot of cool messages written on sidewalk chalk lately. Can you try that with me? Sidewalk chalk. And one of my personal favorites, this is something that we did at my school, kindness rocks. Can you try that? Kindness rocks. And then I've seen a lot of videos of people singing songs to connect with others. So let's try that. Singing songs. And again, videos. Videos. Here you go. videos. Now, I have another column with, it also has 3-syllable words, but if you notice the way the words are arranged, where the stress is different. So this fits better with ta, ti, mail letters. Can you try that? Mail letters. And under 4 8 notes, I have read a story. Can you clap that with me? Read a story. And then I also have painting pictures. Here you go, painting pictures. And last, I have writing letters. Can you try that with me? Writing letters. So I came up with all these different words, but I'm sure if you go through it at home and you make this rhythm columns and you come up with your own words, you're going to have even more than what I do. So now what I'm going to do is pick 4 of these words to turn into my B section. So I've chosen kindness rocks, writing letters. I think I did posters, phone calls. All right, I couldn't remember what I picked. Phone call, and then I chose Zoom. So after coming up with those 4, I decided the best order for them. What did they sound best in? So to me, I like having it going kindness rocks, writing letters, phone call, Zoom. So you see, I just drew 4 hearts. In each heart, I wrote the words in the order that I want to perform them. And then I went back to my lovely columns and figured out what the rhythms should look like for each. So you see, I have ti, ti, ta, ti, 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 ta, ta, ta. So now I'm going to clap and speak the words for the B section. So it goes kindness, rocks, writing, letters, phone, calls, Zoom. Can you try that with me? Kindness, rocks, writing, letters, phone, calls, Zoom. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. Kindness, rocks, writing, letters, phone, calls, Zoom. So again, this is our B section. So now I'm going to go back to the A section rhyme, perform that, and then perform the B section. So again, the A section, we also had the body percussion moves we added to it. So it goes, I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your hearts. Here's the B, kindness rocks, writing letters, phone calls, Zoom. Let's try that one more time, see if we really got it. Here we go. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Here we go. Kindness rocks, writing letters, phone calls, Zoom. Now, me being a music teacher, I've got to add an instrument part to that B section. And there's a lot of cool different ways that you can make sounds just using things that you find around your house. So I'm going to use for this a wooden spoon and a pot. So it'll go kindness rocks, writing letters, phone calls, Zoom. So now I'm going to say the A section with the body percussion, and then I'm going to pick up my instrument and play and speak for the B section. Here we go. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your heart. Here's a B. Kindness rocks, writing letters, phone calls, Zoom. Now let's try something a little bit trickier. I'm no longer going to say the words, so I'm going to think the words as I play the B section. But first, here's that A. I know it's hard to be apart, but there's many ways to share your hearts. Here's the B. Wonderful. So this was my A section and B section I created, but you can easily come up with your own at home. Again, start off with making your columns for the rhythms and go through and figure out words and their syllables to go under each column. And again, the words you're looking for are words of ways that you can connect with other people, even though you're having to be physically distant. So you could come up with even greater ideas than what I have right here. Then after you do that, pick 4 words and figure out what order sounds best. Then draw 4 hearts. In each heart, write your word, then write your rhythm, And then try performing it with the A section. And again, you could add an instrument part to it. You could try taking away instruments. You could do so much more with it. So I can't wait to hear how creative you guys were and what you came up with for the Share Your Heart rhyme. I can't wait. Have a great day, everybody. Be creative.
boys and girls, my name is Miss Ownby, and I am a St. Tammany Parish Public School second grade teacher. I'm so glad that you could join me today. We're going to be learning how to write a friendly letter. Now, I don't know about you, but I've really been missing a lot of my friends and family lately. I know that it's best that we wait a while longer until we spend time together, but I still really miss them a lot. So I was thinking, since I'm missing my family so much, today I'll write a friendly letter to my grandma. Here's a picture of my grandma right here. Now there are 5 parts to a friendly letter. Heading, greeting, body, closing, and signature. Now the first part of a friendly letter is the heading. The heading is going to go on the top right-hand side of your letter. Now your heading can include your address, but it will always include the date. Today's date is March 26th, 2020. So I need to make sure that I write the date that I'm writing the letter as the heading of my friendly letter. Now the second part of our friendly letter is called the greeting. The greeting is going to go below the heading, but it goes all the way on the left-hand side of your paper. Your greeting starts with the word dear, and then you're going to write the person's name that you're writing your letter to. Since I'm writing my letter to my grandma, my greeting will say, "Dear Grandma." Now, Grandma is her name, or it's what I call her, so I need to make sure that it starts with a capital letter. After I write "Dear Grandma," then I need to make sure that I write a comma. Here's my heading, March 26th, 2020, followed by my greeting, "Dear Grandma," and here's my comma. The third part of our friendly letter is called the body. The body of your letter is going to be the biggest part of your letter. In the body, you can ask questions. You can tell the person how you're feeling or what you're thinking. I'm going to go ahead and write the body of my letter right now. Now that I've written the body of my letter, I'll read it to you. It says, "How are you doing? I miss you a lot and I can't wait to spend time with you. We have been trying to stay busy. We do some schoolwork each day, but we also find other fun things to do. We have been baking cookies, drawing outside with sidewalk chalk, and we even went on a bear hunt on our walk yesterday. What fun things have you been doing? I can't wait to hear about them." Make sure that in the body of your letter, every sentence starts with a capital letter, every sentence makes sense, and that there's punctuation at the end of every sentence. If you have a statement or a telling sentence, you need to make sure it ends with a period. If you have an exclamation or an exciting sentence, make sure that it ends with an exclamation mark. If you're asking a question, make sure that you're ending that sentence with a question mark. When you're finished with the body, this is where you're going to close your letter. Your closing might be the word "sincerely." You might say "your friend," or you might close it with the word "love." Since I'm writing a letter to my grandma, my closing will be "love." Now make sure it starts with a capital letter and that you write a comma after your closing. Below your closing is your signature. This is where you write your name. Once you're finished with the signature, you should have all 5 parts of your letter. Your heading, your greeting, the body, your closing, and your signature. Once you've checked your letter and you think it's ready to send, you can fold it up, put it inside of an envelope, and then address your envelope. Now, when you address your envelope, on the top left-hand corner, you need to have your return address. The return address is where your letter is coming from. So this should have your name and your address. In the middle part of your envelope, this is where your letter is going. So you need to write the person's name, their first name and their last name, their address, their city, comma, state, and their zip code. Now before you put your letter in your mailbox, you need to make sure that you put a stamp in the top right-hand corner of your envelope. Now that I have my friendly letter and I have it addressed, I can put it in my mailbox, lift the flag, and it's ready to go. So remember, here's the 5 parts of a friendly letter: the heading, greeting, body, closing, and signature. Thank you for watching as we learned how to write a friendly letter. You did a great job. Remember to keep watching other videos like this one so that we can all keep learning together. You can watch lessons daily on STPPS TV or on our website at stpsb.org. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Now, as you can see, I have a chair here that's a little too close to me. So I'm going to move that chair out of the way. and then check my space again. If you're at home, make sure you have enough space so that you don't trip over a table or a chair. Okay, the steps to the dance. It starts out slow. Well, it's actually fast, but you have to have a piece of bread. So your hand's going to be the bread. And then peanut butter jelly. So even if you're allergic to peanut butter, you can still do this. The other hand's the peanut butter jelly, and you smear it on the bread. So practice doing that. And he sings peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. And then it goes a lot faster. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. And then he does a baseball bat with a baseball bat. So then you swing like you have a baseball bat. The next part of the dance is Where You At. Now, it's not the greatest English, but it's a fun song. So put your hand up to your head and look. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? And then you find them. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Next is a part called Break It Down and Freeze. So you can break it down and freeze, break it down and freeze. They do that 4 times. The next version of the song, or the next stanza, I guess you could say, is tic-tac-toe. Now with tic-tac-toe, you're going to jump and cross your legs 4 times, but it goes fast. So let's practice that. It looks like this. Tic-tac-toe, 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 tic-tac-toe. So if you've jumped rope before and done jumping rope with tic-tac-toe, that's how it looks. And then the last part of the song is freestyle. You could just do whatever you want, as long as you're safe and in your own personal space. Okay, so peanut butter jelly, baseball bat, where you at, there you go, break it down and freeze, tic-tac-toe, and then a freestyle dance. When he sings the song, you're going to hear all these parts in the song. All right, get your sip of water. Here we go.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly. 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 Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now peanut butter jelly. 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 Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now break it down and freeze. Break it down and freeze. Now break it down and freeze. Now break it down and freeze. Now where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly. 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 Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe. Let's go. Tic-tac-toe. You got it. Tic-tac-toe. Let's ride. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Do the peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Do the peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now freestyle. 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 Freestyle your style. Freestyle. 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 Freestyle your style. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go.
Awesome.
The colors of the sky I love, with fluffy clouds of white, an endless canvas of blue, when the sun is shining bright. Paint me a picture white and blue, paint me a picture of dreams come true. The sun's orange face is smiling down on me. The colors of the sky I love. How many colors do I see? Sometimes the clouds turn gray when the rain is coming down. I like to jump and play in the puddles on the ground. Paint me a picture, orange and gray. Paint me a picture of dreams this day. When the gray clouds float away, blue skies reappear. What is that in the air? A rainbow is here. Red, yellow, green. The rainbow fades away. The sky turns into black at the end of every day. Paint me a picture, rainbow bold. Paint me a picture of dreams to hold. When nighttime arrives, a white moon shines above. So many colors in the sky, each and every one I love. Paint me a picture, dark and light. Paint me a picture of dreams this night. The colors of the sky I love. The colors of the sky I love. The colors of the sky I love.
Hello everybody, I'm going to do a quick drawing project for you today so you can follow along with me as well as with your children at home and hopefully have a good time. You do not need all these supplies to make this project successful. You can just use crayons if you would like. You can also just use oil pastels if you have them. Today we're going to combine oil pastels with watercolor paint. I have this little inexpensive set here, as well as temper cakes. Whatever you have at home works. You also need a cup of water, paper towels, favorite brushes, We do not need a pencil because we're going to be brave and just put our pastels right down on the paper. Today we're going to draw a beautiful cake inspired by the artist Wayne Thiebaud. He's a pop artist who's famous for cakes, pies, slices of delicious treats. He's famous for bright colors and having great examples of shadows and highlights. So we're going to try and remember that when we're finishing off our project. All right, if you have younger children or multiple kids at home and you want to cut out an oval to get them started, go for it. I cut these out usually for kindergartners, first graders who need a little help getting things started to make sure they're drawing them big. Okay, so this is something that you would use if you needed it. We're going to draw an oval towards the top of our paper, but we're going to leave this part of our oval blank. Can I get your colors ready? You can get these pastels at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, all that good stuff. All right, first step, oval. Remember, we're gonna leave the bottom of it blank. So I'm gonna tell the students, I'm gonna talk to the camera like I'm talking to the students from now on. Put your finger in the middle and scoot up. That's where you want your oval to be, okay? Scoot to the side a little bit. Imagine the oval's right here. Scoot to the side a little bit. And you're gonna draw an oval. You're gonna leave the inside blank. See, my oval's a little slanted, and that's fine because not all cakes are gonna be perfectly straight and even. I know my cakes that I bake don't look perfect. All right, I'm gonna do a line down and a line down. Remember, we wanna save room for a plate down here, so we don't want the lines to go too far down. I'm gonna make another line that goes even further down. Down and down. Notice this line's shorter than this line. From here, I'm going to connect with a curve that goes back, curve that goes back. Now I'm going to make an upside down letter V, up, down, do it again, up, down, connect it with a line down the middle. Now if I'm going too fast, please feel free to pause the video. I'm just trying to move along so the video isn't very long. Now I'm going to switch to a different color for my filling. Maybe I want pink icing inside of it. And you want these lines to also look like upside down letter V's. Now I'm going to switch to a different color. Maybe I would like an orange plate. I'm going to draw another oval. But we don't want to draw a complete oval because we don't want the line to go over the cake. We want it to look like the cake is sitting on a plate. So that's what's our oval's gonna be. I'm gonna place my pastel kind of halfway between this line. I'm gonna go around and stop. Now, if your cake's a little further down and your plate has to go off the page, that is totally fine. I'm gonna get a different color and I'm gonna make the table. Line across, horizontal line, skip the cake, and keep going across. And just like that, you have an awesome cake, plate, table, background. Okay, from there, you can either color it with pastel, add paint, or if you're using crayon, you can begin to color it with crayon. So this is my crayon example that I started. Let's take a little time to talk to you if you're just using crayon. Crayons work great. You can color them just like this and have a great project. Stay inside the lines, all that good stuff. No scribbling, but a way that I like to show students to elevate their crayon a little bit more is to press harder in areas that you want to appear like it has a shadow and press lighter in areas where you want it to appear like it's a highlight. So I'm pressing harder here in the middle where it would be darker, less light's getting to the middle of the cake. And then lighter as it gets to the outside. Now that looks great. Take it to the next level. Get a color that would go great with orange, like this dark red. And I'm gonna make that shadow inside even richer and even prettier looking by doing a little bit of shadow on this one side with this red. Go back with my orange, blend it in a little bit more. That's what I did with the plate too. I took a bright purple, colored it, pressed harder in these areas, and then took a darker purple and in these areas here, overlapped it on top to make it the shadow even richer. To finish this, I'd go back and finish the background the same way, blue and purple blended together, and then I'm gonna do some multicolored stripes for my tablecloth. Now, this is my finished painting example that I made. I used different color watercolors, and as you can see here, I have some darker blue here in the shadow areas, darker orange in the shadow areas inside of my cake slice. Same here on the plate. I put some purple on top of the pink right here to make it look more realistic. So I'm going to show you a little bit of painting on this. Pastels are awesome to use with watercolor because the oil and water, they don't mix. The oil pastel repels the water off the pastel. It keeps the paint in its own little section so that the painting doesn't mix easily with other colors. Okay, so I'm gonna do the plate. So my plate is orange, and I'm gonna just get some good orange paint going on my brush. I dipped it in water because I had a lot of paint on my brush. I don't want to spread the paint around. More water equals lighter paint. More water equals lighter paint. Now this is not watercolor paper, just paper I had lying around the house. So you can see that's starting to make little pieces because the paper is getting wet and I'm rubbing on it a lot with my paintbrush. When you see that, that just means stop painting in that area. You don't have to have watercolor paper to paint with watercolors and have fun. All right, so what did I do? I used more orange paint where I thought it would be darker for a shadow. Now, if you want to bring it to the next level, challenge yourself, get a different color like a red and add that inside the shadow. Whoa, love it. Awesome, right? Okay, let's do our blue cake. And it's really blue. Maybe I want this side darker. Put some water in my brush. Spread it around. See how this blue pastel stays really bright even though the paint touched it? It's because the oil pastel repels the watercolor, and it stays really beautiful and bright. Crayon works just the same if you don't have pastels. Just press hard with the crayon so that it really shows up. All right. Loving it. Maybe I'm gonna get some darker blue. Just do a little bit darker right there around the edges. All right, looking good. Maybe you want to add a different color shadow to your blue cake edges. Got a little purple on there. Blend it in. Looking good. Okay. You can do a rainbow cake. You can do yellow cake, pink cake, brown cake, any cake you want. I'm gonna do yellow on the inside. pastel does a great job of keeping the paint inside the lines. Now I'm going to take some orange. Kind of spread it. Now the orange is a little darker than I like, but I'm making it work. I'm gonna get some water on my brush. Take a paper towel and tap it. It's gonna take some of that color away, and now it looks great. Exactly how I wanted it. A little more yellow. Beautiful. All right. Pink. Strawberry icing, maybe. Get some water in my brush. Fill that in. Now, I think it's time I can set you free. Use your pastels to create a background. Think about a party background. The possibilities are endless. Stripes, zigzags, polka dots. Or maybe you want the tablecloth to have the pattern. Maybe the tablecloth is polka dot or zigzagged or something party themed to go with your cake. Maybe before you painted, you wanted to add icing details or candles. Maybe you want to do a birthday banner in the background. It's really up to you. Maybe your plate has patterns on it. The possibilities are endless. It's really up to you how you paint it. My only advice would be, before you paint, make sure you draw everything first, okay? I kind of skipped ahead to make the video shorter. So draw everything first and then paint it. All right, I hope you enjoyed a little video today. More to come. Tomorrow I'm going to be showing you how to make a more complicated cake with pastels, as well as some slices of cake to challenge you and bring it to the next level of learning. Have a good day, everybody.